after you've created your author files and saved it all into one folder, we're ready to generate some author packages. It's important to have a number of author packages. You might, if you're lucky, get away with just generating one package and testing your document in question with that one package, and you might get a result. I have found that you need multiple tests with different combinations of authors to be certain you found the most likely author of a document. When I normally test a document, I'm drawing from more authors than you probably have, but I have combinations of packages that represent some 20 to 25 different authors, and I test them against each other. And the ones that show up the strongest on the first few tests, I make new packages just using those authors until I narrow it down to possibilities. So to do that, let's open up the package generator software. And the first step is to load all our author files, which you've saved in one big file, into the software. So on the top, there's a button called Browse, and you can also do Alt-B, select that, and it'll take you into your computer. So at this point, you're in your computer and you find where your author folder is, and I'm going to do that on mine. Whoops. There it is. And I open it and I see all my authors listed. Again, you're still in your computer here. So we want to load that into our software, and to do that there's a button on the bottom called Open, or you can hit the Enter key. That will bring up all your authors listed in the software on the left side. And they're all checked, meaning that when we run this test, when we run this package generation, you will be using all the authors in the folder. And you can do that if you have 10 or so authors. I have 50 here, so I'm not going to do that, obviously. So you want to narrow it down to a few people. So you want to unselect. So if you hit the Tab button once, you will be on Select All, and then you can hit the space bar and eliminate all the checks. Or you can just click on the Select All button and all the checks will be gone. If you tab down one more time, you will be highlighting each author individually, and you can use that to enter. Or just check on the box next to the author that this is who you want to use. In our case, we're interested in the Federalist Papers, so I'm going to look down for different authors, or you can tab down and highlight each one and see which ones you want to take. Again, you use the space bar for selecting if you're doing that method of tabbing through each one, or you can just click on the box next to it. So I'm going to be selecting, obviously, Hamilton, and I'm going to be selecting Madison, and let's take a couple more known contributors to the Federalist Papers, supposedly known, we'll find out, by selecting J, and I'll take Gouverneur Morris again. This is just the start. We're going to be adding more to it in a minute. Once they're checked or selected, you just need to generate the package, which is a button on the bottom right, or you can hit Alt-G. Either way, it'll start working. On the bottom, if you want to follow what's going on, of these 4 people we selected, there's a total of 24 documents. That's the subfiles under each one. And they're going through and processing each one and identifying the feature traits of each author, or each sub file within that author. So when it compares it to the document later, in the next chapter of this, it will be picking the closest of the 24 to that particular feature for all the features, all 17 features, and then crunch the data with 4 different methods. That gives us 68 results in total. that we'll use to analyze. So while this is running, I'll pause temporarily till it finishes. It should only take a minute or two to do this, depending on your computer. Okay, when the software is finished, it will come up with a box that says package created successfully, save your package. And you would hit the OK button or enter, and it's ready to be saved. On the top left, or you can hit Alt F, select the file button, and you'll see, or I'll tell you, there are 3 different ways to save. The first one and the third one are for if you really want to get technical about which feature was more important or indicated a particular author as opposed to another one. You can save in Excel, or you can save in raw results. It's just a massive amount of data. What we're interested in here 99% of the time is to save a package file, or Alt-P. If you hit on that, you will get a place to save this. Now, I don't want to show you that yet. I'm going to save this to the desktop so we can see it. And we're going to give it a file name. So I'm going to call this Fed Papers 1, because we're going to be creating other ones to use to test the document. So I'm going to save this to the desktop. And I'll bring it into view. Here is that. Save it up here. There is our first package. So let's do another package and let's expand it. Let's keep those 4 and add a few more who could have had a hand in it. Franklin was still around when these were written. Dickinson was a notable participant in events. How about Adams was definitely around. And let's take Jefferson was still in Europe. Let's take, that should be enough anyway. Let's take Witherspoon. And let's create another package in the same procedure. Do Alt-G. Once you've selected them, we'll just click on the button, and it'll do the whole process again. And we're creating a new one, and I'll pause till it's done. Okay, so the package finished. Now it took longer, probably twice as long, because we had almost twice as many authors to generate, but still it was only like 3 or 4 minutes, I believe. So we're going to do the same procedure. We're going to hit OK. We're going to go save it to where we saved the other one, which is on the desktop. So, and you should have a separate folder for all the packages as well, so you can access them in the future. So you'll have one folder for authors, and next to it one folder for packages. So I'm going to go to the desktop, and I'm going to save this as Federalist Papers. Fed Papers 2. And now we have 2 packages to use to test a document, which we will be doing in the next video.